Well, I have other obligations and must regrettably be cutting my trading day short today, and so I thought I would take this opportunity to do my review or recap or whatever. So the SPY dumped yesterday, and I'm thinking that it's going to be a recovery day. So as it's putting in this trend, excuse me, I grab a call, it doesn't work out, I get out right away, and it looks like that was a great decision. Comes all the way down here and has a little bounce, and I wanted to grab a put in here, but I chickened out. And look at this volume. 15 million shares sold in 5 minutes. Just I don't know if that's characteristic of the SPY because I don't trade it that frequently or haven't been studying it that long. But that's a lot of volume, and it comes way down, and then the volume slows off, and I put in an order for a call. I wanted to grab a call here at the bottom, but it didn't work out. I didn't get it. Get rid of this guy so we can see better. This candle, you can see it was a massive move. It had a little tail, and the volume looks tiny, but I think that's because this bar really messed up my chart. And it made it very difficult to evaluate volume for the rest of the day. So this volume bar looks tiny, but it's actually a pretty big volume bar, and relative to the rest of the volume bars. So it was dwarfed by this one, and so I didn't I didn't recognize its power, and I grabbed a put right in here, thinking it's going to fall back down. Right after this this candle came up, and I felt like this wasn't a lot of volume, and it turns out it was sufficient. The move continued for a little while, and I was remaining stubborn. This candle confirmed my suspicions. I remained stubborn. I was down $20 on the trade. Fortunately, it had this pull, and I sold for a small loss. And then I got right back into this push, and again, I just remained stubborn. I wasn't sticking to my stops, and so I said, you know what, if I can't trust myself to follow the rules, then I'm not going to play today. So I said, that's it. I'm not allowed to trade anymore today. If I can't follow the rules, I don't get to play. But I still made myself sit here and watch, and I'm proud of myself. All of these notations were in real time. They were real-time predictions. I didn't go back and make these, and you can see in some of these cases that is definitely true. But here there was this lovely hammer. It was low volume, but okay, so we know I couldn't trust myself, so I'm gonna get rid of these guys so that we can see the chart. Don't mind the mess. Okay, so it was a low volume hammer, but in my mind that also meant that the sell-off was really low. And so I was thinking it would have been a great opportunity to grab a call. after having missed this one. And this miss might have been what messed me up in here, but, and chickening out. So I chickened out and then I missed. So that might have been why I got so stubborn in here. Anyway, so I see this candle and I think that's a great time to grab a call. It's going to go up from here. And lo and behold, it does. I circled this guy because it's a big candle with little volume. But again, everything looks like low volume after this move. I'm not sure when I put in this line to let me know where I thought like average volume was, but I'm glad that I did. So maybe I'll have to try to do that sooner and then move my guy around. So then there was this doji and I left a mark. I said it was going to go down. It did not. I would have been wrong. And then it pushes. I noted another doji but didn't make a decision based on it. And it was a good volume doji. And then I noted this one, which is the third one in a row. Reverse, reverse, reverse. And then this shooting star was across 3 different time frames. So this was on the 5-minute chart. It was on the 15-minute chart, the 30-minute chart, and the 60-minute chart. So all of those charts had this shooting star. And I was blown away. I was like, wow, I would grab a put there. And it would have paid for a minute, but when the ETF came back down, okay, hang on, let's take care of some stuff real quick. So this was a key level, and then when it broke, it functioned as support earlier. So now we know that's there, we don't need that. I'm going to talk about this trend line in a second, we don't need that. Just trying to clean this up so it's all easier to see. Oops. Okay. So it's got that gorgeous shooting star that it seemed really significant to me. It just kind of blew me away. I was like, wow, I've never seen that before. And, I haven't seen a lot, but I've never seen that, so it was cool. And then SPY comes down. SPY puts in this doji on this trend line and then continues upward. And I thought that was really cool. And you get this beautiful ascending triangle, and it fails. I mean, it's at key level, it's down 187% on the day. Just kidding, but it's down. It's a red day, and it squeezes up into resistance. Get this doji with a low volume pull, and it was okay. So I'm thinking it's a low volume pull. It's not that significant. But then in retrospect, even though it was a low volume, it was a doji, a reversal signal, and it was at a key level. This resistance line, which is also the open. So I feel like that makes it more significant despite the low volume. And we break trend, which is sad because it was so pretty. But this is also a low volume pull, and it manages to support. There's not a huge sell-off, and it goes on to break the open. I think that if this trend had remained intact and it broke the open here, then this would have been an ascending triangle. We would have got a really big run. but there's also a lot of resistance overhead. So yeah, it's a reversal signal. Um, and yeah, there are methods of measuring the ascending triangle pattern that tells you what you might aim for. But there was a lot of resistance overhead, and this is the first red day, and is it second red day? So it didn't run, but I'm not surprised that it's holding. Anyway, so the question here was, can it break the open? It did not at that time, but it did wind up doing it, which was cool. It didn't run like I thought it would. I thought it would really squeeze, but you know, probably a lot of people covered into this. And then this right here is where it hit the 50 SMA on the 15-minute chart. And you can see that it did not fare well against that indicator. There was a little bit of a selling frenzy, and I think I put this in on this candle because there's high volume into this that brought this up here, and we got the tall wick, and then we got this shooting star, which also looks like a pivot point because of this triangle thing, and that was on low volume, so that tells me that there were not a lot of people buying it up. And then it came back down, you know, put in the 3 prongs of doom at the 15 SMA, came back down, and this was a doji. I know it's not a doji now, but I was just noting that it was a doji at a key level, and then in the last 30 seconds of that session, of that 5-minute session, it rallied. It almost doubled its volume in the last 20 seconds of that rally, and so I guess somebody else, you know, saw that it was a doji and that it was at a key level, and they bust in, but it wasn't enough, and it pulled back. I didn't have any conviction despite these tall upper wicks until I saw this push, which was a low volume push, and then I was like, yeah, I would grab a put right there because I felt like it was confirming the trend. Oops. Okay, so then it comes back down under the open, pops back up, and it was right here that I said it's not gonna hold over the open on this push. Let's see, was it low volume? It was low volume, and it was a tall wick, and I just didn't think it had it in it, and I made a nope going down, but I would have stopped out of that put when it recovered off this hammer. I thought that it was just, you know, part of the trend. It was just popping on the way down. But once it broke the open, I would have stopped out of that put. And then I stopped watching. I walked away, had a little breather, decided I better get, oh, excuse me, decided I better get about the business of the day. I have no predilection going forward, and I'm excited to see what it does. I'm proud of myself for my diligence, staying with it, even though I knew that I was done. I'm proud of myself for cutting myself off. I'm proud of myself. Well, this one I chickened out. I was right. It was a good call, but I chickened out, and that's unfortunate. And then this one, I missed my shot, which is really unfortunate because, man, look at that move. I probably would have sold in here. I probably would have got scared out in here. Um, and that's evidenced by the fact that I started betting against it here. So I'm disappointed in myself for not sticking to my stops, for being irresponsible with my capital. That was dumb. Um, but hopefully, after penalizing myself, I won't do it again. So thanks for watching. Use stop still. I hope you guys have a good time. Bye.